Hey, what's up?
Nothing. What you doing?
Not much, chilling. Hey, but that was like this stuff with the military is interesting. Uh, have you seen that video from Narc Survivor?
Somebody mentioned that name.
Okay, Narc Survivor had a channel called Son of the Shield years ago on the internet, and he was talking about how like the military industrial complex, which in many terms is like private contracting companies now, like doesn't necessarily mean, guys in army uniforms are ones doing it. It's like Dick Cheney got the company called Halliburton, who's into oil, but they're also into private military contracts where they build tanks and build they outsource the military, and those are the people involved with this contract stocking stuff is corporations who
That's what I'm telling you.
right. But
Right.
where's this is the thing that I'm coming in with. Where is the money coming from?
Well, multi levels, multi places, all kinds of money's coming in, all kinds. See, brain algorithms is the biggest thing of all. Okay, that money's coming in from everywhere, major corporations all over the place, because their idea of the brain algorithms, as it was introduced to them, was they can make money off of that. Big money. So it's worth billions, okay? Billions, trillions, okay? So you got that aspect of it. All this comes together in such a big pool that there's plenty of money. Plenty, and left over. Because you've got so many places it's all coming from. Yeah, for real. It's coming in from everywhere. Yeah, including life insurance. It's coming in from everywhere. Think of it. So
Right.
It's all one big pool. It's the laws. The key is the law. The laws are being passed. Look up Congress bill. Congress 115TH. HR 6664. Threat assessment in all states. Look up Congress 36TH. HR 838. Brain algorithms in all states. This gives the police this whole system. They have been entering these laws in so that they can manipulate to do all these things and bring all this pool of money together. And they've been doing it for over a decade.
Yeah, the police, and I didn't realize when dealing with the cops, it's scary dealing with the police.
Sure, because the laws now, first of all, they have military and the police have crossed over lines. So, what the military has, the police has.
Right.
And
you can see that. There used to be a time where police were called peace officers. Then they were called, police officers, and they were known as public servants. Then they said police officers. Now they're law enforcement. They say law enforcement, and they dress like they're in the military. They wear SWAT team gear, and like even the FBI. If you go to the FBI's website, they train people in the FBI like they're about to drop shoot in Afghanistan somewhere.
right.
Like you're not dealing with people in the people in the government. Used to wear suits and all this stuff. Now they show up at your house looking like a goddamn disc jockey, looking like Freddie Flash. No, the feds show up at your house looking like a rerun, like they're about to start breakdancing or something.
And they gotta be wearing that stuff with an 8th grade education because who else will wear it?
Right. Show up with an 8th grade education, dressed like.
And they got a bigger rack you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it psychologically, Val. Yeah, you crazy. Yeah. stupid, ain't they?
It's and then at the same time, they're dealing child pornography out of the police stations and out of the prosecutor offices. They're allowing the Freemasons in the police department are peddling child pornography and letting the cops have sex with little kids and letting the neighborhood watch groups use little kids to do
So
sex.
I bet you that if you did a map, right, of your local town, and I guarantee you that your police department is in a very short distance from your masonry building. How much you want to bet?
Well, listen. The Freemasonic Lodge of Muskegon used to be in downtown Muskegon. Now they moved it out to Montague or Whitehall, which is like an hour out. But the Freemasons can have private lodges too. Like a group of Freemasons can get together and meet in somebody's basement and have a lodge session.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? But where they have their ceremonies at, I don't know if it's.
I didn't say publicly. Did I?
Right.
A lot of them are having it on a local restaurant that the guy just knows about.
Right.
Mm-hmm. A lot of them are having it in churches. The church don't care. You rent out the place, they don't care what you're having in there.
Right.
True. It's time that people just get honest, really.
Right.
It's time people just get honest, really. You know, it's coming out more and more. There ain't no hiding it no more. It's out in the open now. It's not going to stay shut down. It's just not. It's just not going to stay shut down anymore.
Right. That's
They've been getting caught left and right all over the place. I mean, it's just what it is.
That's crazy. The cops show up to your house looking like damn, looking like G.I. Joes and stuff, and like show up to your house looking like the Ninja Turtles with lights on their cars and stuff. It's crazy.
And they had an 8th grade education, so they think they're it.
Like some damn cartoon.
Everybody's laughing at them. Like, yeah, right, okay.
Right. They're so stupid. Like you said, the goddamn attorney general's calling the police department to find out what the fuck is going on. They got the attorney general sitting there talking.
I'm telling you.
I love it. Oh my god, it's insane. I can't believe it's gotten this out of control. It's scary. You know, they had helicopters over my house one time. I live by an airport, and they were purposely hiring like somebody. I don't know if it's a helicopter company or what, but.
Oh man, I gotta send you that 25-minute video of a showdown with this little old lady, okay, parked at a stop sign with a 25-minute showdown with a Black Hawk helicopter, and I'm thinking, well, what the hell you want with me? And I just kept filming them, like, okay. Yeah, it is happening. It is real, and the people need to know what's really going on. I mean, the American people, most of them don't want to be bothered with it because they're busy making a living, and they really don't have time to deal with it. But they will be dealing with it. They know it. They know it. They, you know, most people really are starting to wake up to what's going on. And, you know, they don't want to know, and they want to turn their other cheek, and most of them want to play the game, but when it comes to that defining line, they're not going to. They're just not. And the only way they're getting away with it right now is because they're passing the laws left and right. That's all. It's just like, you know, it's going to be to the death. And, you know, it's all coming together. All prophecies are coming together, and it's going to happen. And people are going to take it to the death because who's going to want to live in this kind of crap? You know, really. You want your kid, they got a school here in Florida. It was in the New York Times. And they have a school right here in Florida that they're experimenting on from elementary school to high school. And they're doing the whole system. The threat assessment, which is psychological evaluation, treatment, labeling, Baker Act if they have to, medication, the whole 9 yards, to brain algorithms reading them. And their excuse to the people is that they're going to stop these school shootings if they have to start at younger years. And that's their excuse for allowing their children to be exposed to this crap. Okay, along with DNA, facial recognition, and the whole 9 yards. And so, are the American people that stupid? Well, then they deserve what they get. But if you can allow your child, and this is what you're going to be given, I think you need to think again. You know, it's just that simple.
Right.
You know, they're not just dreaming this up. This has been going on for 8 years already under Predpol. Predpol's the software. It's got a lot of flaws, and so now they want the Secret Service and the DARPA and all of them are fighting now for the $1 billion new system, the new software. You know, for this system to be the new. It's going to be worth billions, really trillions at the end of the day. So, they're not just experimenting on these kids now. You know, they're just, that's what their main goal is to the children. It's, what are they going to do? What is it, brain algorithms or is it guns? Which is it? You know, because, they want control of everything, let's face it. You know, the American people are not that stupid.
Right.
So, but the average, where I live, the average police officer here where I'm at, they are not, no, they're not, an 8th grade education's the average, they're not smart enough to do a psychological evaluation in any sense of the word on anyone. Nope. They can't even fill out a police report.
No. They can't do anything.
There was a car involved.
They can't do anything right. They can't do anything right. That's like the small town I'm in. The small town in Muskegon, it's like a goddamn clown show. Nothing makes any, even, hell, fuck the gang stalk. Don't even talk about the gang stalking. Just in general. It's a goddamn clown show where nothing makes sense.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
People show up to court. People show up to court who don't even fucking know you, and sit there and lie and lie on you.
And nobody looks into anything.
And everybody knows.
Does anything.
Everybody in the goddamn town knows the judge is in on it, and nobody does it. It's the craziest goddamn thing I've ever heard of. I've ever witnessed.
I called the police twice. I came around the corner from my house. The motorcycle was missing that I bought from outside of my house. I come around the corner and I see it parked outside my neighbor's house, 3 doors down the back road. And so I pull up in front of his house and I see a guy out there with he's loading up the bike onto back of a truck, one of those flatbed trucks. I said, walked up to the guy. I said, what are you doing? You buying this? Yeah, what's going on, And he said, yeah, I am. And so I said, you can't do that. I own it. So the guy came out of his house screaming at me that I was a liar, screaming the guy I was a liar. So I called the cops. And the guy was screaming the whole time, going around my car, carrying on. The guy backed up. He was loading it on anyhow. The guy went to hit my car. I had my daughter in the car. And he went to, he was going to come forward to hit my car. I went to pull forward. The guy just threw himself on the hood of my car, the neighbor. So I called the cops again. Actually, just before that, I called a second time. And the guy threw himself on the hood of my car, called the fire department, the ambulance. The cop came around and arrested me. So the guy was You know, the cops now, at that point, I told the cop, don't let that guy get away. And, you know, he had his license. He said he wouldn't. He did. He did not keep the guy's license, the guy that was buying the motorcycle. And then they left the motorcycle, the key at the neighbor's house, arrested me, and left an open title that the guy stole from my mailbox. And they reported the bike stolen a week later. The whole year that went past, I must have called the major of the sheriff's office. I must have called about, I'm going to say I probably called over 100 times. He never returned my call, and they never checked to see who was the owner of the vehicle, which I was the owner of the vehicle. They could have called the woman. I left the you know, with them, of course, 100 times, and they never called to check on it. They didn't give a shit. So it was probably them that collected the money from the bike, or they proudly took off with it. But either way, it was reported stolen.
Right. I don't understand this damn gang stalking stuff. You know,
well, that is gang stalking. That's just setting somebody up for jail and stealing their property. That's all that is. It's the same thing. It's gang stalking.
Like my situation, I live in Norton Shores on Lauren Drive, and I was sitting in my house, and in my neighborhood they were doing the gang stalking, and they hired a bunch of fake actors to pretend like they were made guys in the mob, and they must have went to Grand Rapids and found, you know, an Italian business owner and told them to wear some suits and stuff and drive around Lauren Drive. And at the same time, the people in the neighborhood who were police informants and FBI informants and Freemasons, they were emailing me and making phone calls pretending to be Jordan Maxwell, telling me they were going to kill me, and then sitting there hiring a bunch of mob construction workers and stuff that they weren't in the mafia, but they were pretending like they were the mob. There's no goddamn mob. There's no Sicilian mafia in Muskegon. Get the fuck out of here. And they were sitting there pretending like they were in the mob, driving around the little dinky ass neighborhood in the town, and it was the neighbors running the whole goddamn thing. And I'm sitting in the house making YouTube videos talking about Jordan Maxwell's trying to kill me, and they're sitting there and they can't get enough of it. Every single day, every single night, they're sending me emails, and somebody banging on my guy. A pizza man came to my house and banged on my.
They did the same thing to me. They did the same thing to me in a different way. But it's all the same. It's all the same deal. It's street theater. And they're all in on it, and they're all playing a game. It's all the same. And the police too. When I had posted on Facebook that the police are trying to set me up for jail again, that's when the games began. And I have film and video of, pictures of them pulling their crap everywhere I went. So sure, yeah. Until they eventually, finally, through all of that, ultimately tried to throw me in jail, made it look like they threw me in jail, and filed a false police report. And they're all laughing, thinking this is all funny.
Well, I got a friend of mine. He's El Salvadorian, and he's in federal prison. And he's in federal prison, telling all the old mob guys everything about how I was getting. A friend of mine, he's from El Salvador. He got caught with kilos of cocaine, and he's in federal prison, telling all the old mob guys about what happened on Lauren Drive in Norton Shores. And he said some of these mob guys are sitting there saying that this is some serious ass stuff. They said the old mob guys told him. They said it don't matter if you're Freemason ain't got it. It don't matter if you're the Pope, if you're the goddamn. He said they poison popes. They whack popes all the time. It don't matter if you're the Pope. You don't ever sit there and put on suits and drive around and pretend to be some made guy. You don't ever do that. You destroy people's families, reputations, and names and stuff like that. He told my friend, he said, I want to know who the hell these people think they are.
Well, that's the whole thing. See, they don't. The people this stupid stuff that are thinking that they are above the law because they think the law is telling them they can do it. See what I'm saying? So they think they're backed by a bunch of heavy people. But what they don't know is the people that they don't know that you know. Like it doesn't matter who they think they know. It's the stupidest thing is those people that are putting them up to it don't tell them who you know. You see, the people that stand near for jail with the police department here, they don't know who my in-laws are. And let me tell you something about Italian families, okay? Okay? Let me tell you about Italian families. Once you're in an Italian family, okay, it don't matter how many years or who comes between who, okay? You don't mess with them. And so the people that are doing the gang stalking, they don't know who you're related to or who your family is or who knows who. You see what I'm saying? They don't tell these people that. So those people that are doing that to you, they don't know who you know. They just see you struggling and laughing about it. But their payday comes at the end of the day.
Yeah, because what I want to know is who are these private investigators or whoever the hell they think they are that are running around with fake phony investigations, sitting there paying people to pretend like they're in the mafia and paying people to put drugs in my food and paying people to follow me around lights, sitting there with fake phony investigations laughing at me. Well, there's gonna be a big laugh on them because everybody in the New York Mafia is gonna know what they did to me. I took care of every. They don't understand.
Yeah. They don't understand that part of it. And see, in those kind of situations, you know, even the people that put them up to it is at risk. You know what I mean? And they don't know. Yeah. They don't know that their days are being counted. That's why I said to you, it's the people that are going to be paying the most. It's the saddest thing.
It's all coming. It's gonna be real. It's gonna be real funny. It's gonna be real funny when everybody in when all the 5 families in the New York Mafia find out what's going on. It's gonna be real funny then.
Yes, you said a mouthful when you said they don't get involved in that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You said a mouthful because they don't get involved with that kind of stuff.
But
when they find out that sister so-and-so and this one and that one and their buddy, and they're like, what? Oh, heck no.
They might put him in prison. They might hire, the mob got lawyers. They might put him in prison for it.
Oh, let me tell you about their lawyers. Oh, let me tell you about those. They got so many lawyers that they wouldn't even know what hit them.
Right.
Really, I can name a few. Absolutely.
Right.
And believe me, they'll never get out. They would never get out. And that includes police officers and even their little FBI agents. But see, that's what they don't count on. They don't count on that part of it. That's the part they don't think about. And the stupid people that are doing the ridiculous street theater, those are the least of them that mean nothing to nobody. They're as disregarded and discarded as they come. They're nothing to nobody. You know, they say, okay, well, if you'll do this little thing for a dime, you know, what will you do for a 20 roll? See, they know they're sellouts, so they're nothing to nobody. They don't mean anything.
Right.
So yeah, they don't mean anything.
Right. Yeah. Right.
And that includes the police officers. The police officers the same way. You know, I mean, I can just imagine. See, down south, you know, you have the good old boys. They kind of run everything. That's kind of known. You know, I didn't know that. I've been here a while, and they think they got it. You know, they got all the money and the canine, and they thinking, you know, everything, and they got everything. But you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You know, you got up north, you got the gangs, and you got the mafia that run mostly everything. So, you know,
and they got all, and it And the mafia ain't just 5 families. The 5 families is one family is enough to do anything in the northern goddamn hemisphere. But when you talk about all their little crews and outfits and stuff they got all over New Jersey and Detroit and Milwaukee and
no, most of Florida.
Yeah,
most of Florida is most of Miami is owned by them. Are you kidding? I mean, no, it's not just up north. Most of your big money, and that's big money, and they didn't make that big money making a police officer's salary. No. And they cover each other. They're family to each other. So it's not the same as, it's not the same. You know, these guys collect salaries down here. It's quite different up there. Families are families, and they protect each other. It's quite different.
And they whack their own, in the mob, they whack their own people. The hell are they gonna do? They don't know you. You're really fucked.
Yeah, it's true.
How they, like on that movie Casino?
Yeah.
Where they took Joe Pesci out to the they were taking FBI agents out to the deserts and beating them with bats and shit.
Oh.
Remember in the movie where remember at the end of the movie, the Casino, where they took the FBI guys out to the desert and blew their fucking head off?
Yeah, you could pull out some of those old stories.
That's what I'm saying. The mafia said, oh, you know, they took the FBI out to the desert and blew their head off. They said, oh, you made deals with our enemies and helped them put us away in jail and destroyed our businesses. You're a big shot, you fucking bum. And blew their goddamn head off.
Yeah,
they're not impressed. The mafia is not impressed with a bunch of little bitches with college degrees. You might think you're in the FBI and you got a college degree, but you're not worth a fucking Las Vegas. Get your bitch ass in that hole in the ground.
Yeah, that's why I say is their little salaries compared to the big monies that they make is, you know, that right in itself. Yeah.
Right. The mob's been around for 2,000 years, and the FBI's only been around for 50, 60, however. You get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's not what you think. I know, you know, I don't say anything, you know, I let it go by, you know, but I kind of laughed at this one person who was kind of, you know, partially involved with my gang stalking, or, you know, thought he was, you know, had something to say about it. And I let him get away with a lot of stuff. And I just looked at him this one day, because they had gotten about as far as they could go with it, you know what I'm saying? And I could have actually sued them. If I would have called a lawyer, I could have sued them. I could have sued the company pretty badly for what he had done, or himself personally. Because he got caught. It was as obvious as it could get. And I kind of looked at him and I snickered and I said, you know, you forgot one thing. You really did. You forgot something. And this is what they all forget. I said, you forgot to really research my name. Like, you didn't really look too far, did you? You know, and I laughed. I mean, I laughed the whole rest of the day. I was just laughing. You know what I mean? Because it could have been either side of the family. You know, for him, it could have been either side of the family. But I'm not going to get into that. But you know what I'm saying? You know, all I had to do was make a phone call, you know. And, you know, I didn't want to do it to the poor guy, you know, because I'd hate to see him die that way, you know. But, you know, it was like, really? So, oops, you know. And he wasn't around after that. Nobody knows what happened to him. They said he retired, but nobody knows what happened to him. He was just gone.
Right.
It's true, really. And so for the rest of them, I just kind of, you know, okay, well, you know.
Right. I laugh at the whole thing. Like in Muskegon, they pay a bunch of people in the black community who wear their pants backwards and sell drugs and drive around with $400 cars with $2,000 rims. And the people in Muskegon they tried to create an atmosphere to make people think it's the mob when it's really the FBI. What the hell the fuck does a mob look like, hanging around with a bunch of hoodlums who wear their pants backwards and don't brush their teeth for 10 days straight, and their baby mama got to fuck everybody in town to get a bottle of milk? How dare you insult them? How dare somebody? You know what I mean?
They don't do that. They don't do that.
Right.
Yeah, they don't do
the mafia is going to pay some. the mob's gonna pay some black guy who can't even tie his shoes to do the. That's the FBI. The FBI is the one giving them all their food stamps and stuff in the hood.
Yeah, it's pennies for nothing, and like I said, they already know they're sellouts, so it's all a waste of time. It's a waste of everybody's time. So you got to understand, it's a distraction. It's an illusion. It's psyops. It's a psychological game. And the psychological game, the gang stalking game, is psychological. And it's only to distract you from what's really going on. So, yeah, it's true. And that is for everyone. That is for everybody who's involved, because all of them are actually targets. And if you were to throw it all out, everybody involved is a target. They are missing the big picture. And the big picture is, on a global scale, everybody has a brain algorithm, and everybody can be taken out.
Exactly. They're playing around with computers and science, and you know, it's like some sort of horror show or something. They got all this goddamn computers and all this stuff, and then they pay police snitch bitches and informants and stuff to follow people around with lights. Then the feds show up with jumpsuits looking like MC Hammer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And all they're doing is they're getting everybody to turn on everybody while they're setting up their global control.
Yeah, the police. You know where the police are. You know, the police today were created by Vietnam veterans with flashback junkies and stuff. And I'm not disrespecting the Vietnam veterans, but the SWAT team was started by Vietnam veterans back in '69. They started the SWAT team, and that's why that's where they started using the helicopters. The guys in Nam who controlled the helicopters, they thought it'd be a good idea to introduce to the police departments, like in Detroit and especially Los Angeles and on the East Coast.
And they're doing it again. They're doing it again with their loop system, brain algorithms, and their psychological laws and setup. And that's what it all is. They're just zigzagging back and forth while they're building their global network. And it's not us against them. It's globalism, global setup in the world. And it has nothing to do with any of it. It's all a show. It's all turning each other, dreaming up a new skit for the new week to create new laws, to create new wars against each other in the different countries.
Right.
You can literally, the more you study, the more you see it.
Yeah. The more you study, and I don't know how these people. I couldn't sit back at my house like some little bitch and come outside with green shoes and blue hats and sit there and follow people around with lights and stuff like that. Who the hell do these people think they are?
It reminds me of the clown show. When you went to the circus. I mean, one day I when I first realized I was being targeted, and I started to research it, and I didn't know what was going on, but they pretty much got caught in my particular case. The cop got caught on my phone, my internet, the whole 9 yards, and out and out caught. And I went to the grocery store, and pharmacy, and I got up. It was late, and they were about to close, not that far, and out comes all these young people out of this car, and they were all wearing, like, from head to toe black, And I said, oh, you must all work for the same place. And, of course, none of them did because they would have had the same logo on their shirts and all, but they didn't. They were all wearing black and all that. And, and so I started, like, laughing with them and asking them questions and, the whole 9 yards. And it's like a circus, like when they used to jump out of the car and they were all, with the outfits on. It's no different. It's so juvenile. It's juvenile.
Right.
It's juvenile. But at the end of the day, they don't know who you know. And they're not being told who you know. And they're not being told anything other than what they want them to believe.
Right.
And that includes the lies about you.
Right.
And so while the American people are turning on each other countries are figuring out how they're going to move in and take us over. And that's the sad thing.
Right.
And the elites, they've already paid for it. They've already sold them your property, and they're just, looking at their watch, wondering when they're coming in.
Mm-hmm.
While they got their little pony show going on. It's true. It's really true. And the American people better be ready. They better be ready.
Yeah.
What we're seeing right now is not the real showdown.
No, I think it's almost like Invasion of the Body Snatchers. How, they just slowly take over. They're slowly taking over the whole planet with this stuff. The whole planet's, the whole planetary consciousness, the whole consciousness of the planet is being dominated by an extraterrestrial force. And the reason why I say extraterrestrial is because we're terrestrial on the Earth, but now they have satellites outside the Earth. So there's extraterrestrial connections to what's happening because the satellite is not terrestrial, it's extraterrestrial. So what's happening on this planet is extraterrestrial.
Yeah.
And who knows who's out there running them satellites. There could be another civilization on this planet doing this. You ever read that blog called The Hidden Hand with the Illuminati?
Oh, well, that's pretty obvious that that's what's going on.
How they were talking about the ancient race known as the Vrilia, who inhabit the inner world, the inner Earth, underground civilization who's been there for 30, 50, 80,000 years from ancient Atlantean times.
Yeah.
And they're connected. They're on the planet doing this to humans, and they're connected with extra.
The fact is, right, that there's no way that complete human beings can physically assault another human being via microwave technology, radio frequencies, torture them morning, noon, and night, and watch them suffer, destroy every connection that they have via their family, their friends, their community, and knowing that they're a good person and do it anyhow. And they even refer to them as the do-gooders in the community. So those are the people that they're targeting. Well, who would else be doing this other than heartless, animal, sub-human beings? They're not human. They cannot be human. So whatever you want to call them, whether it be half-breed, full-breed, whatever, they cannot possibly be human and do this torture to another human being without not being human. I'm sorry. That's just common sense.
Right. It's some, a lot of people, I think a lot of it has to do with Soviet intelligence too, as well. Like back when the Cold War,
they were connected.
Yeah, back when the Cold War ended, all the people who were involved with the Soviet Union, they got now they're in America, doing this kind of stuff in America. And
those are the Nazis, the same area. You know, it's in the Bible too. I mean,
Hey.
you know, yeah.
Can you give me 1 minute? Let me call you right back. 1 second. Just 1 second.